Fishing. It's a mechanic that's been in every mainline Pokemon game, until Gen 9 that is. And with Pokemon ZA coming out next year with no sign of the ability to fish returning, one starts to wonder, what if you played Pokemon where you could only fish? Now, the rules for this challenge are quite simple. I can only catch Pokemon that are able to be reeled up with the fishing rod, I have to catch every species of Pokemon that's fishable, and I have to acquire all fishing rods. Everything else follows a standard playthrough of the game and seeing if it's possible to beat the Elite Four and Champion with a team made out of one of Pokemon's forgotten encounter methods. So with that, I started up a game of Leaf Green. I picked this one because it's my favorite of the two versions and also has an exclusive that'll be vital to my team. And after naming myself and my rival, I make my way to the lab. It's here I acquire my starter and the first Pokemon on our list, Krabby. Well, originally I was going to make my starter whichever Pokemon had the lowest BSD out of my possible encounters. That wasn't Magikarp because I don't want to torture myself. I actually needed it to be Krabby for a specific reason I'll get into later. But with our first member on the team now, we fight against our rival Chat and lose due to us not having an attacking move other than Bubble. By the way, he's called Chat because his challenge was all live streamed over on Twitch, so you should also follow me there if you want to see the next time I stream a challenge like this, or just in general. Anyways, the beginning of this challenge is pretty simple. I can't obtain the first fishing rod until Vermilion City, which means Krabby is going to have to solo Brock in all of the battles beforehand. The journey to Pewter City is overall straightforward, with Krabby sweeping through the trainers along the way. For the most part, at least.
Let's see. Can we do it? Can we kill this Caterpie? Oh! We at least killed the Caterpie. But we're only delaying the inevitable. Oh. Oh no!
Aside from the slight road bumps, it's an easy trip to Pewter. And with Krabby naturally at a high level, we sweep through Brock with little hassle. After obtaining the Boulder Badge, we make our way to Mount Moon, where we can get our second member. And I know I just said that the challenge was catching Pokemon only through fishing. However, I really didn't want to have to wait until after Misty to catch a Magikarp and then level it up. So by buying one from the guy here, I'm just speeding up the process for my own sake. Defeating Team Rocket and collecting the fossil that won't be used, we arrive in Celadon. Heading up to Nugget Bridge, we encounter Chat once again. This was by far one of the toughest battles for the entire run. Because Krabby is basically our only Pokemon, that means she has to 1v4 this battle, and that doesn't end well. Realizing that Misty might be easier since we can resist and she only has 2 members, we head to her gym instead. But with the sheer power behind Staryu and Starmie's special attack, that also doesn't end well. Which means it's time to bring out my classic strategy, fighting the same battle over and over until I somehow manage to win. After going back to Nugget Bridge, it takes a couple of attempts for our rival's Bulbasaur to go for Poison Powder instead of the super effective Vine Whip, finally allowing us to get past and take out the rest of his team without issues. And after that, Nugget Bridge and the route above should have been easy, if not for one huge mistake I made.
Shot. Do I want to get rid of Leer or do I want to get rid of Harden? I want to get rid of Harden. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. Misclicked.
Now that Krabby's strongest move was accidentally deleted, our progress slowed quite a lot. Nevertheless, with a lot of stops at the Poké Center and the power of overleveling, we eventually make it to Bill and change him back, getting the SSN ticket in the process. That means Misty is our only remaining roadblock, but it's clear there's no way I'm beating her with the way my team is now. So after tons and tons of grinding, we managed to teach Stomp to Krabby, as well as Magikarp learning Tackle. Feeling confident now that I had a solid move on Krabby again, we went back to fight Misty. Staryu goes down in one shot, but even with 6 levels above her Starmie, we still can't win. I decided to grind one more level in order to get Krabby to evolve it to Kingler, and after rematching her one more time with our newly evolved team member, Missy goes down in 3 stomps and a lucky flinch. Cascade badge acquired, we then went to Vermilion City. Here is where we can get the old rod, but seeing as all you can catch with it is Magikarp, it doesn't give us any new encounters. Hopping on the SS Anne, we fight some of the trainers to gain a few extra levels before Lieutenant Surge, even getting Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados while here. This happens right before we fight Chat 2, making this battle much easier. Defeating him allows us to get the HM for Cut, which is where that earlier situation with Krabby comes into play. You see, this challenge almost would have been impossible. There's only 2 Pokemon we can fish that learn Cut, and one of them doesn't learn it until their final evolution. And because the old rod is the only rod we can get before needing Cut, that meant if not for making Krabby our starter, we wouldn't have been able to make it into Vermilion Gym. Thankfully, this isn't the case, and despite our type disadvantage, we're also able to take down Surge in one attempt. Rushing through Rock Tunnel and Team Rocket's hideout, Giovanni's partial ground team isn't a threat to us, meaning we get the Silph Scope without issue. After another battle against Chat and Pokemon Tower, we ascend it, freeing Mr. Fuji and receiving one of the most important items for this run, the Poke Flute. Because both the Good and Super Rod are blocked by Snorlax, it's only after we wake them up that we're able to obtain the other rods needed to catch the rest of our team. We get the Super Rod first on Route 12 before returning to Celadon City to catch what I believe is the most unique encounter in this entire challenge. There's a 1% chance to catch a Grimer in this specific pond if you have the Super Rod. We eventually encounter one, and after way too long, we're finally able to add our 3rd member to the team. Right after this, we also go and catch a Staryu that we immediately evolve into Starmie, as well as a Poliwag that soon evolves into Poliwhirl and then Poliwrath. With a solid team now established, we travel to Fuchsia City, where we obtain our final fishing rod for this challenge. Now that we can reel up all possible encounters, we go ahead and catch Seaking, Horsey, and Slowpoke, leaving us with one last species and the final member of our party. The thing about Dratini is it can only be caught in the Safari Zone, so between the low encounter rate and the low catch rate, I was here for quite a while. But after 17 Dratini encounters and a bunch of Safari Balls thrown, we finally managed to capture one, completing one of our main goals of this challenge. And now, with every rod obtained and every possible species caught, all that's left to do is become the champion. We start by defeating Erica, whose grass team goes down to a couple of sledges from Grimer. Afterwards we climb through Silphco, taking down a rival in Giovanni one more time, and also forgetting that this NPC gives me Lapras when I talk to them. Whoops. Leaving that Lapras to never be seen again, we take on Sabrina in Saffron Gym, beating her and then remembering that she doesn't give me the Psychic TM, but we go and grab it right after to give to Starmie. Before our next major battle, Dratini also evolves into Dragonair, but considering that Starmie absolutely sweeps Koga with her newly learned move, we use them instead to wipe his entire team out. Although his first coughing decided to do those honors himself.
The other thing, oh my gosh! I was gonna say something, I just witnessed. Oh my gosh, that was violent.
Going through Seafoam Islands in the Pokemon Mansion, we acquire the key to Blaine's gym and definitely lock the door to try and protect himself from the team I had. But try as he might to prevent it, a watery grave met him and his team all the same. This is also when Bill offered to take us to the Sevi Islands, but seeing as I had other goals in mind, I declined him. But who knows, maybe if enough of you want it, I'll go back and check that place out too in another video. Before we take on Giovanni for the final time, Grimer evolves into Mug, meaning there's only one more evolution for our team. Returning to Viridian City, we enter the gym and make our way to Giovanni, ready to enact the same strategy we used on Blaine. And because Starmie is an absolute powerhouse, it's easy to guess how they did against a team full of ground types. Feeling confident after how easy the last gym leaders were, Chat stops to humble me and make me realize how underleveled I actually am.
Because I don't have a bicycle, but like okay, you're level 53. Ugh. Maybe I am underleveled. I don't know how. Oh, that was a crit. Oh, and it didn't kill.
Miraculously, our team manages to win, mainly thanks to some questionable move choices by the AI. But if the only reason I won was because of luck, it was a sign that I needed to do some serious grinding before the Elite Four. And after doing tons of off-stream grinding and planning, I had finalized my team and strategy to defeat the Elite Four. So with nothing else stopping me, it was time to show them the power of the Harbinger of Fishing. For Lorelei, we lead with Polyrath and bulk up 3 times before using Brick Break to take out her Dugong in one hit. Slowbro is much tankier and resists our Brick Breaks, and even after our boosted stats, it takes 2 strengths to knock it out. Next up is Cloister, and it goes down to 1 Brick Break. Jinx is up next and outspeeds Polyrath, landing a lovely kiss and putting us to sleep. We take 1 Ice Punch and don't wake up. The second one hits, and Polyrath hangs on at a mere 10 HP. But before death can take her away, Polyrath wakes up, landing a single Brick Break to take out Jinx. With 1 more Brick Break on Lapras, we beat the first Elite Four member. For Bruno, I started with Kingler using 1 Surf to take out his Onyx. My goal with her is to whittle down his team as much as possible, and we get lucky with a miss on Sky Uppercut followed by a flinch from Stomp. We get another flinch on Hitmonlee as well, though the second Stomp fails to kill. But with another 2 Stomps, the rolls are in our favor, and this time we knock out Hitmonlee. Machamp is out next, and after a scary face we lose the speed advantage, meaning we can't go for flinches anymore. Taken out by a bulked up Cross Chop, we swap into Gyarados, intimidating him and spamming Surf. But after getting him into the red twice, Gyarados goes down, and we swap to Starmie to finish the job. And with the final Surf on his other Onyx, Bruno is defeated but with more casualties than desired. Thankfully, Starmie wasn't KO'd during the last match, meaning they're ready to take on Agatha, not even breaking a sweat as Starmie outspeeds and takes the entire team out with 1 sidekick each. While that one was easy, I can't say the same for Lance as we even get flinch on the first turn. 2 Shockwaves is enough to take out Gyarados though, but not after we receive a hefty amount of damage. Aerodactyl is out next and takes Muck down after we land another Shockwave. Here I start to realize that my team isn't looking so good, but I can't give up. Sending out Starmie to hopefully sweep, we fail to be faster and Lance's Aerodactyl hits a critical wing attack. Luckily, we survive and take it out with Surf. Up next are his Dragonairs, and by using Starmie's recently taught Ice Beam, both go down without problems. Using another Ice Beam on Dragonite, I watch his health drop before it stops short, barely surviving and taking out Starmie. Knowing that Polyrath won't outspeed, my only option left is Dragonite, but I know an Outrage will take me out too. Nevertheless, I click Thunderbolt and hope. And despite being 4 levels below, Dragonite manages to outspeed Lance's and lands a Thunderbolt. But it wasn't enough, and I watch as we take a super effective Outrage. Yet Dragonite manages to hold on. Miraculously withstanding the Outrage, we get off 1 more Thunderbolt, taking down Lance and beating the last of the Elite Four. After that intense battle, I take a quick second to heal up my team and step into the Champions Room. This is the moment I've been waiting for, and I refuse to lose here. Chat opens with Pidgeot and I open with Starmie, taking the lead after 2 Ice Beams. Arcanine is sent in next, and the curse of failing to knock out the other Pokemon continues, allowing a Bite to connect. Starmie makes up for it next turn though with a critical Surf, and Venusaur comes out. Fearing that I'll be taken out by a Grass move, I use Psychic to get as much damage as I can before being knocked out myself. Though apparently throughout all my planning I didn't realize Venusaur's only attacking move is Solar Beam, and because there isn't any sunny day up, we can take Venusaur out before it can unleash its move. Having beat half of Chat's team on their own, Starmie is then stopped by Gyarados, and we send in Dragonite to handle the other half. One Thunderbolt takes him out, one Surf takes out Rhydon, and all that's left is Alakazam. The Psychic type is too powerful for Dragonite, however, and she goes down. A swap into Kingler doesn't work, and knowing that both Poliwrath and Muk wouldn't fare well, I send in Gyarados. Tanking a Psychic, the once weak Magikarp is given her chance to show just how far she's come, ending the battle with one last strength. And just like that, we beat the challenge. I had a lot of fun with this one. It was an idea I had in my mind for a couple years now at this point, but only recently did I have the ability to make it happen. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. This is also sort of my return to YouTube, and hopefully I can upload more frequently in the future. We do already have plans to do this challenge with other Pokemon games, and if you want to watch those live, be sure to check me out over on Twitch. Also, feel free to join my Discord that's linked in the description, and if you enjoyed this challenge and want to see more of it or similar ones, please show your support by liking and subscribing.